If you have not met Shettima Gata, let him now be introduced. Shettima grew up in a happy family in the village of Birnin Boko in northern Nigeria. His father, the Fulani Gautama Boko, was frail, weak, and handsome. His mother was stout and strong. She ruled the home. His sister Halima, the most senior of his 3 sisters, loved him very much. He loved her in return. At 8, while inspecting his snares in the bush, Shettima was kidnapped. He was taken first to Garin Bassam, where Sheikh Minchika, the great slave dealer, lived above the law. Shettima was sold into slavery with other children and taken to Tulin Goma, a traveler's village on the edge of the desert. Here he met Alatiku, the only son heir of Sheikh Maitama, who lived in Yalua and was next in rank to the Sultan. The sheikh was rich and powerful. He bought slaves to provide labor on his plantations, on his grazing field, and in the traveler's village, back in Birnin Boko. After a fruitless search for Shettima, Gautama Boko had wept for the loss of his only son. He wept too because there would be no son to wield the famous sword of his own father, a famous warrior. No one to win fame and glory for the family. He did not survive the loss of Shettima from heaven and to bring him back home. He was sure that Shettima would come back one day, wield the famous sword. Both Shettima's mother and his sister Halima believed Gautama and looked forward to Shettima's return. Meanwhile, Shettima lived in slavery. After only a day on the plantation, he saved Alatiku from an attack by Matamba, the ruthless head slave. He was rewarded for this by the sheikh who transferred him to work with the travelers. Here he learnt to ride and to speak different languages. He met people of different races and saw both the bright and dark sides of human nature and life.
After several years, Shettima met 2 travelers from Shahin, the home village of his mother. They carried home the news of Shettima's well-being and brought back love from his mother and sisters and a parcel of baked milk cake from Halima. However, they failed to persuade Shettima to escape because he was well treated and felt that he had nothing to escape from. Eventually, however, Shettima had to escape from anger if his friend, Alatiku, because of a love tangles with Sherifat, the sheikh's daughter, and Fatima, her maid. Because Shettima fell in love with Fatima and did not return Sherifat's love, the sheikh's daughter felt slighted and fell ill. Her brother, Alatiku, was very angry with Shettima from harming his sister and challenged him to a duel. Because he wanted to avoid the deadly duel, Shettima escaped in the night. His horse ran into a pit across his path and was trapped. Shettima had no heart to desert his horse, and he knew he would not get far on foot. His escape was blocked. Alatiku, accompanied by 2 of his servants, pursued Shettima. They too fell into the ditch with Shettima. Rather than run away or avenge himself on the injured party, Shettima helped to nurse their wounds and to rescue the trapped horses. This convinced Alatiku of Shettima's innocence. When the sheikh sat in judgment over Shettima on the charges of running away and offenses against the sheikh's son and daughter, Alatiku stood in his defense and softened the heart of the sheikh. "Both my son and daughter have pleaded for you," said the sheikh, "and I have never refused the request of my children. You will not die as planned. Because you have saved my son's life twice, I will not take your life. In gratitude, I give you your freedom.